Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio On Demand podcast. Love you.
Hi, it is Halloween morning. Woo-hoo. And it's going to be a beautiful Halloween night, too. It's going to be in the 50s for trick-or-treating time. And I don't think you can get much better than that here in the Midwest. All right. Over the weekend, I asked this question. Let's see if you have an answer for it. Up for grabs, 2 passes for Marcus Theaters. 80% of pet owners have done this at least one time for their pet. What do you think it is? 80% of pet owners have done this at least one time for their pet. What is it? 507-292-1053. If you can get it right. You got some Marcus Theater movie passes, a pair of them. 80% of pet owners have done this at least one time for their pet. And I can give you a clue. Usually it's only done for humans. Usually only done for humans. So this time Friday, I was getting my mustache pinked. It is very pink. And I need to apologize as we're waiting for someone to call in and tell me what 80% of pet owners have done at least one time for their pet. I got to apologize to, I don't remember his name, but he was working at the Quick Trip at TJ Maxx Plaza. I went in there and gassed up before I went to Diana's, or to meet Diana halfway to get some stuff from her. And she came over from Fairmont. We met in Albert Lee. Real quick, just a quick drop off. Good times. And he pointed to his lip and said something like, "Does that hurt?" And I thought, I had totally forgotten that I'd had my mustache turned flaming pink. And I said, "Oh, must hurt there. Okay, yeah." And then I took off. I got to my car and I thought, "Oh, you doughhead, James. He was talking about your mustache, not his mouth." So if you happen to be the guy that waited on me at Quick Trip on Friday afternoon, yeah, now I know what you're talking about. You got a pink mustache. 80% of pet owners have done this at least one time for their pet. What is it? Extra clue? Usually done for humans and only happens once a year. Give me a call in the next 5 minutes if you know the answer so you can win.
This is
MG Records want to send you to New York to see and even meet the Backstreet Boys. More on that here in just a little bit. Hi, it's James Raby. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show, and we are talking about trick-or-treating pet peeves. And Cindy, you've been chomping at the bit. What's yours?
I don't like it when you go to a housing addition and you've got your kid, and then you've got these parents that insist driving down the road with kids on both sides of the road because they don't want to walk. They've got everything now, 4 side-by-sides, golf carts, cars, vans, and then the kids that are walking, you have to really be careful.
Yeah.
Why do they have to drive when it's fun walking with your kid house to house?
This is a very good question. Now, I know some parents can't walk with their kids house to house. I get that. But it does. It clogs up the roads and makes it more dangerous for the kids. I know some parents that will drive a block, park, get out, walk with their kids, do that kind of thing. That's a very good question. Anyone? Bueller? Hey, it's Y105 FM. Thanks for calling in.
I've seen a few people get back in line to try to get more, if it's a trunk or treat or whatever, they'll go to another car. And I have seen one person before actually change costumes. Ooh. It was a teenager, change costumes so they could go back around and not be recognized. But I saw him change the costume because I was one of the people that was doing the trunk or treat. I had my trunk all done and stuff like that. And I saw this kid literally go to their car, change costumes, and come back. And then I was like, "No, I'm not giving you any more." And they're like, "I haven't had any." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure you haven't."
So, the kid shouldn't lie about it, but I give the kid credit for going and changing costume. Hey, I'd give him the candy. I would. That's extra work. I got to reward that initiative. You're listening to Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. Coming up, shots were fired in Rochester this past weekend, and someone's in custody. Let's find out about that next in the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute.
This is Y105 FM.
Rochester police are investigating a Saturday shooting. Good morning, I'm James Raby. This is the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute. Will it rain on Halloween? The spooky forecast in about 60 seconds. Saturday, around 2:30 in the afternoon, multiple shots struck a vehicle and at least one bullet hit a home. No injuries, and one person was taken into custody. More info coming this morning from the Rochester police. Look for it on the Y105 FM app. Also on our app this morning, 5 people, including 2 young children, were injured in a 2-vehicle crash Saturday night near Austin. And a personal injury lawsuit stemming from a knife attack at St. Mary's Hospital several years ago has been settled out of court. And kids are going to love the Minnesota Zoo's spooky jack-o'-lantern trail. It goes on through Saturday. And the rabies shot. A 17-year-old doughhead recently walked into a Louis Vuitton store in Bellevue, Washington, and stole $18,000 worth of handbags. Well, he tried to steal them anyway. Doughheaded teen dude was running out of the store when he slammed into a plate glass window, knocked himself out. It's like when you throw the rope for the dog, and just before they get to the rope, you yell, "Ralph!" And the dog turns around thinking, "What?" Right into the door jam. Not that I would ever do that, but I've seen it happen. Anyway, he slammed into the plate glass window, knocked himself out. Police believe he's a part of a team of a larger crime ring. Running into a window? Man, in court he's going to say he's been framed. Y105 FM weather for today. There's no rain. Not that it would matter. We can take time, hold hands, and chit-chatter. But today, sunny, 66, clear, and 39 the low tonight. But while you're trick-or-treating, at worst, it'll be in the mid-50s. I know, right? That's I would have begged for that kind of Halloween when I was a kid. And tomorrow, sunny and 71. Again, for today, sunny and 66. It is 35 in downtown Rochester. And here's my question. Should we move Halloween to a weekend so it's like always on a Saturday, maybe the last Saturday in October? I've been seeing some towns voting on this. What do you say? They put it into their November elections. What do you think? Should we always have Halloween on the last Saturday of the month? 507-292-1053. What do you think? This is Y105 FM's. Hey, it's Y105 FM's early morning show on Halloween. Halloween. Oh, I love Halloween. Not being part of it. I just like watching all the costumes, especially in the neighborhood I live in. I'm in a big old apartment building, but I can hear all the kids running around the neighborhood trick-or-treating, and I just love it. I love that. Well, it's just the innocence. It's the fun. It's the silliness. It's the candy. Anyway, earlier we were talking about pet peeves for Halloween, and one gal said it's the people that drive their kids around. Not the ones that have to drive their kids around because they can't walk with them, but the ones that do it because they just don't want to get out and walk with their kids. It puts so many extra vehicles on these city streets and the neighborhood streets. It's dangerous. I think that's an interesting point. Would it be better if we moved the Halloween to lock it in at the last Saturday of the month? So sometimes it's October 31st, sometimes it's not. Where is the city? In Cincinnati. Oh, Cincinnati. Apparently, the city is not happy that Halloween falls on Monday this year. Well, it falls on Monday regularly, so is it just this year they're upset? Anyway, one of the newspapers says Cincinnati City Council members are considering moving Halloween to a permanent weekend schedule. One of the people actually filed a motion to move the holiday to a weekend evening because she says the change will aid in keeping our city's children and youth safe, providing more visibility for both pedestrians and drivers, and creating more accessibility for parents and guardians. Baloney! It's not going to make the kids more visible if you move it to a Saturday. What kind of nonsense is that? I mean, if you want to move it because it's more convenient for you to always have it on a Saturday, I get that. If you work and you're a parent, you can't always get out there with your kids and you really want to, I totally get that. But be honest about it. You're not going to increase their visibility because it's Saturday. Well, I can see them better now. Obviously, I'm not a proponent of changing it. I don't have kids. I don't really have a huge dog in this fight. And quite frankly, if we do this, we should attach something to it that always starts all the schools on the same day. Because if we're going to make it convenient for parents to have Halloween on the same day, then I want it to be convenient for all morning shows to be able to start school, have one school starting show, just one. And I realize, often when you add amendments like this, well, you get into trouble. However, really, I don't think we need to change the tradition. And not because I love tradition. I'm all crazy about changing things all the time. Fine, whatever. And if it changes, okay, whatever. But what have we really gained? Nothing. People aren't going to be suddenly more careful on a Saturday. Halloween is Halloween. What makes people be better people, I guess, is if they're better people. What if you always have it on the 31st and then it rains? Well, you can say, well, it looks like the forecast is better, moving to a Friday. It's life. Sometimes that's it. Halloween moves around in the week. Sometimes we get that glorious Friday Halloween and that glorious Saturday Halloween, and we're like, whoa, this is awesome. But other than that, it looks like it's a solution in search of a problem. Or as my good friend Tracy used to say, that's a solution for a problem I don't have. So I'm just curious, good or bad. Obviously, I'm against moving it, like big time. I think it's just silly. Now, if Cincinnati wants to do it, that's fine. Other cities want to do it, that's fine. But we're better here in Minnesota. We're tougher. We put up with so much on Halloween. We're going to give in now? I say no. Nay, nay, I say. Nay, nay. Do not give in. Do not give in if it comes up here. Of course, if I'm wrong, go ahead and let me know. 507-292-1053. Feel free to tell me I'm a fool and don't know what I'm talking about. What do I know about? I'll tell you one thing I know about. You seeing the Backstreet Boys and meeting the Backstreet Boys in New York with $500 on your hip. You want to do that? Well, here's how you do it. And remember, next, it's the Y105 FM early morning show, 8 a.m. all music hour.
This is Y105.
Trick-or-treating, unless some wild ice storm just suddenly shows up. We're looking at 50s in the evening when you're trick-or-treating. That's perfect. No one gets too sweaty. Hi, it's James Raby on the Y105 FM early morning show. And speaking of Halloween, Ed Sheeran owns a haunted house with apparently a little ghost girl to freak people out.
I have a cottage that a little girl lives in the attic.
But a little ghost girl?
Yeah, a little ghost. Like, I have three people that have stayed there that don't believe in ghosts, and they've all seen her. They just, when they sleep in the top room and they wake up with her at the end of the bed. And there's three. I'm not even like, but it's basically the top room has a trap door in it. It's from the 16th century, so people would go there to when they were ill, and then they die, and then they get lowered down. And yeah, I've had, but the girl that cleans it refused to clean it anymore because she's seen it so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
And Joe Jonas has a haunted house too.
One night at like 4 a.m. I was asleep in the house, and it was my roommate's birthday. So I heard somebody come in the door. It was loud, things were knocked over. I was like, all right, he's drunk, he's having a good time on his birthday. And the next morning I had something early to do, like 8 a.m. So I got up, 8 a.m.'s early for me. Got up, went to his room, he was no one was there. My other roommate wasn't home, so I'm like, all right, that's a little creepy. I texted him, like, are you guys home? They're like, no, we're at a girlfriend's places. And nothing was stolen, so it wasn't a burglar. So it's either an Oompa Loompa or a ghost.
Hope your Halloween is suitably spooky. This is Y105 FM's early morning show.
This is Y105 FM.
2-part rabies shot. 1 part love on Halloween. Happy Candy Day. It is Y105 FM's early morning show. My name is James Raby, and the rabies shots today, the first one goes out to Elon Musk, who now owns Twitter. He says, I may create PG and R-rated versions of Twitter so people can choose what content they want to see. Well, you see, the way you're running Twitter already is that we don't get to choose what we want to see because you haven't changed anything from the way it was. That's the problem with almost all social media, whether it is the TikTok or the Instagram or the Facebook that most of us really care about more than Twitter. You know, we would like to be able to see what we want to see. The people that we have friended, those people. We don't need all the other stuff. We just don't. So whatever social media we're on, if you are listening right now, that'd be great. Thank you very much, big bosses. Just give us the control we ask for, and we'll be happy with you. It is Y105 FM's early morning show. Rabies shot number 2 takes place in a Louis Vuitton store in Bellevue, Washington. Today's doughhead is a 17-year-old that might be part of a crime ring, but I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be the boss anytime soon because his ears are still ringing from when he went in and stole $18,000 worth of Louis Vuitton handbags, which I assume was like 4, maybe 5. And as he ran out, he ran into a giant plate glass window, knocked himself right out. That is instant karma. Well, and here's what's happening. Of course, you know he's going to go to the judge. Hey, I ran into a big window. I got framed. You're welcome. It is Y105 FM's early morning show. You know what's coming up? 2 o'clock, you're going to have another chance to win the BSB and Me in NYC contest, where you get to meet the Backstreet Boys, you get $500 cash, you get to stay in NYC, and you get to see the Christmas Spectacular at Radio City. All of that is coming up at 2 o'clock with Michelle here on Y105 FM's early morning show.
This is Y105 FM.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio on Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.